Watch the new Wolfey video. Wolfey. Who's Wolfey? Wolfey the Pokemon guy? What's this? Moving forward? What the?
This is a video that I have thought about making every day for the last 2 months.
I have no idea what this is. What's going on here? Did Asmongold react to this? Someone in my chat just said Asmongold reacted to this. Did Asmongold react to this? What's this about? This is a 30-minute video. A furry? No, I think his name is Wolf. Oh, Asmund reacted to Caleb guy. All right, let me just see. He's a Pokemon World Champion. He's a Pokemon World Champion. I really like him. I like his videos.
Every day since last year's World Championships in August.
I just want to see what
this is also a video that I don't especially want to make, but I do think that it is very important because I think that you, the viewers, deserve an update on what's been going on and on why I'm going to be making some of the changes I'm going to be making. I already today have recorded for over an hour, trying to get this video into a place that I felt like it was good and coherent. And as you were watching this attempt at the video, you probably realized that I have not succeeded yet. So I have some notes on the screen for myself here, just trying to keep the video brief. I actually sat down after this year's World Championships back in August and I recorded a video that I had hoped would be this video, but it was about 40 minutes long. It was really rambly, and in the end, I think it read more as a plea for empathy rather than a channel update, which is what I hope this video will be. I want to be respectful of your time. So for those of you who only want to know what's going on and don't want the full picture, I'm just going to tell you up front what has been happening. Well, I'm going to tell you the takeaways, and then I will tell you what's been happening and how it's affected me. Here's the biggest thing that you need to know. This year, for the first time since I started making them, I will not be doing a video about the World Championships.
What?
This is not a decision that I take lightly. The World video I've always felt is the most important.
That's literally like his biggest thing every single year. Wait, what? All right.
Video each year on the channel, but I also think it's the right decision to not make one this year. On top of that, I am not certain how much longer I will be attending in-person tournaments.
What is even going on? What is happening?
I guess what I will say about that is that it is entirely possible that I never compete in or attend another World Championships again. Now I understand.
This dude's a Pokemon world champion. That like he goes to all the tournaments and everything.
That these are pretty strong statements, and so you are certainly curious, if you've made it this far into the video, what has been going on. And I think the easiest way to start talking about this is to talk about this year's World Championships. Worlds this year was my least favorite Worlds ever. And in the past, most of the time I didn't have fun at a Worlds, it was because I didn't feel good about my performance. By contrast, this year I feel excellent about my performance. While it wasn't a great finish, it was certainly a good one, and there's a lot of things that I'm extremely proud of that happened both at the tournament and in the preparation that make me feel overall very good about this year's run. And so the reason why I feel bad about this year's World Championships has nothing to do with my performance, and if anything, the performance is actually helping. Over the past several years, attending tournaments has been getting more and more difficult. And I would say that Worlds this year was a turning point and a peak and made it clear to me that something had to change. Like I said, my goal is for this to be an update video. I don't really want this to be a video where I, sit down and tell you every single thing that's been challenging over the last couple of years, because I'm
not making this a YouTube video, by the way. I just really want to know what happens.
I don't think that's helpful.
I just want to know what happened to him.
And so I'm going to try and avoid giving too many examples, but I want to give you a couple ones just to ground everybody in kind of the scale of what's been going on. My hope is that you do not use this as one example as, take it as like that's the whole problem, right? I'm going to give you one example. Please understand this is a small piece of a whole, but I think it gives, like I said, I think it gives good grounding as to kind of the general scope that we're talking about here. Just checking my notes here. Yeah. So the example that I think makes things the clearest, the fastest, I'm all about efficiency today for some reason, perhaps because this is my 10th attempt or whatever. The example that I think makes things the clearest, the fastest is that I competed at 7 official tournaments in the 2025 season. So from September 2024 until August 2025, I attended 7 in-person tournaments. At 5 of those tournaments, I was groped. Fans, when taking pictures with me, put their hands on me sexually and non-consensually during the act of taking photos. I don't like that this is happening. And I also think that it's pretty clear to most people, most reasonable people, that this is not normal behavior. Like, most people do not grope other people. And I don't know why it's happening to me so much in particular, but the fact remains that it is. like I said, I don't want the takeaway to be that this is the only issue, or that the things that I'm going to be making changes are in direct response to the groping issue. In fact, out of all the issues I've been facing at tournaments, I think that groping is actually relatively low on my priority list of things that I would fix if I could snap my fingers and make them go away. Primarily because it only happens once or twice at most events. And so there are more pressing things that have a higher impact beyond just making me feel bad and kind of violated in a way. So please understand that this is just an example to give you a sense of kind of the general scope. I have another example for you, and it's less intense, but I think it also is helpful in its own way. Which is, it comes from NAIC this year. North American Internationals this year was an interesting tournament. North American Internationals was the tournament where the tournament began on Friday, and I changed my flight to go home on Saturday. And the reason for that is because before the tournament, I don't remember if it was like Wednesday or Thursday, but I had slept on my neck weird. Like I was like, it was a crappy hotel pillow, and I'd gone to bed, and I woke up and I was experiencing rather severe neck pain. For my fellow, older gamers, you probably know neck pain is extremely debilitating. It was one of those situations where like I couldn't really turn my head from this angle without experiencing moderate to severe pain. So it was not a good environment to be competing in, as you can imagine. And what made it especially difficult is that over the course of the weekend, people would reach out and they would grab me, not sexually, just regularly, right? But they would often grab me from a place where I could not see them, from like over my shoulder or something. And by instinct, when I'm touched by a stranger, I would turn towards the stranger, and doing so, it would cause my neck to spaz out. And so this happened. I don't remember the exact number. I was not really keeping track, but I know it was over 10 times over the course of one day of competing. People would reach out to get my attention, right? It feels, I think, to most people normal to be like, oh, I know that guy. Let me go ahead and grab him, right? Like you would reach out and touch a friend. Except that for me, I don't know these people, and then they're strangers.
Thanks for the 10 subs, Shadow.
And it made my life so difficult at that tournament that I decided that I couldn't continue having my neck spaz out, and so I changed my flight home to Saturday morning. And I left the tournament after a single day of competition. I was eliminated, by the way, just that's important context. I didn't leave while I was still in the tournament, but having been eliminated, I just like couldn't deal with people continuing to touch me, continuing to make my neck spaz out. And I understand that, or I guess I should say the reason why I give this example is because I think that it's a much more understandable action, right? To reach out and like, touch someone on the shoulder or on the arm or whatever. And like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing it in a vacuum, but at scale, and especially when there are other things going on, it can become quite distracting and quite problematic. And I would say that these two examples are indicative of kind of the two types of issues that I've been facing at tournaments. The one being people perhaps not understanding normal social norms, or of being too aggressive, or I don't know, like just violating boundaries in some way. And the other being of people behaving normally in a vacuum, but difficult to handle at scale. These two types of issues got so bad at the World Championships this year that on the finals of Worlds on World Sunday, I felt I had no choice except to leave the venue. I just wanted to be there and to watch the finals in person in the crowd.
What the hell,
and
man?
things got so difficult for me that I had to leave. I understood that there was no way I was going to be able to have any semblance of a positive experience if I stayed. And so this year's World Championship finals, I watched in my hotel room, and it was a uniquely bad feeling. I'm gonna move on from this because I can talk about examples all day, but I don't think that's helpful. Hopefully, I think people who will get it have gotten it, and the people who won't are never gonna get it. So I'm gonna move on. Just a little interlude here. I want to talk about how this has affected me. In general, I can.
So this dude was like sexually assaulted at tournaments. That's what we're getting to. It's a nightmare, bro. Yeah, that sucks, man. There are some creeps out there. There's some real creeps out there. Holy shit. Second, I'm just gonna message him. Because that's fucked up. That shouldn't happen to anyone. That sucks, dude. That really sucks. What could I say? That really sucks, dude. That's horrible. Anyway,